Good afternoon, all. In last class, we discussed half-wave rectifier and derivations of half-wave rectifier parameters like average voltage, RMS voltage, RMS derivations, average derivations, and based on that, ripple factor, efficiency of half-wave rectifier, TUF transformer utilization factor, form factor, peak factor, right? All these things we derived in last class. Okay, brief review of half-wave rectifier. And these are all the parameters. Parameters for sine wave input, DC value or average value for input is 0. Why? Because above the 0 axis area is equal to below the 0 axis. And similarly, then Vrms is equal to Vm by root, where Vm is the peak input voltage. Then Vm is equal to root 2 into Vrms, right? Okay, here used 230 volts Vm, that is equal to root 2 into Vrms. Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2, 230 by root 2, around 164 volts in RMS. Then already we derived the VDC, Vm by pi. Similarly, if we consider the current waveform, IDC, if you consider the IDC, that is Im by pi. Okay. VDC is equal to Vm by pi. If you consider the current signal, then IDC is equal to, okay, average current signal, or IDC is equal to Im by 5. Suppose a given full load VDC, Vm by pi minus IDC into Rs plus Rf, where Rs is the secondary winding resistance, Rf is the diode forward resistance. Similarly, IDC is equal to Vm by pi Rs plus Rf plus Rl. Then Vrms is equal to Vm by 2, IRMS is equal to Im by 2. Then peak value of current is equal to peak value of current signal, that is equal to Vm by Rs plus Rf plus Rf. Suppose it did not given Rs and Rf, simply Im is equal to Vm by Rl. Then ripple factor in terms of current, ripple factor is equal to under root. And previously we discussed Vrms by Vdc whole square minus 1. Similarly here also IRMS by IDC whole square minus 1. Right? Okay, these are the parameters already we derived in last class. Based on these parameters, we have today we go through the few problems related to the half-wave rectifier. Given some parameters value like input signal amplitude or input RMS or input peak signal, find the ripple factor or find the efficiency of the half-wave rectifier, or find the transformer utilization factor of half-wave rectifier, right? Okay, all these problems are based on this only. Average value, then RMS value. Once you know the average value and RMS value, we can easily calculate almost all remaining half-wave rectifier parameters, right? Then come to the first problem. If the problem is a half-wave rectifier having a resistive load of 1 kilo ohm, given the load resistor value is equal to 1 kilo ohm, rectifiers an alternating voltage of 325 volts peak value, that is Vm, not RMS value. This is 325 volt peak value, and diode has a forward resistance of 100 ohms. Okay, given RF, diode forward resistance. Then calculate peak, average, RMS values of current. Then DC power output, AC input power and efficiency of the rectifier, right? Okay, what a given data is 325 volts Vm and RL is equal to 1 kilo ohm and RF is equal to 100 ohm. Okay, based on the given data, three values only RL, RS and Vm to calculate all. Now first peak value of current Im is equal to Vm by RL actually. We given RF also, so consider the RF. Suppose you consider the secondary winding transformer resistance, consider that also. That means Vm by Rs plus Rf plus Rl. In the problem, we given only Rf and Rl. So Im is equal to Vm by Rf plus Rl. That is equal to 295.45 milliamperes. Now average current IDC, or suppose VDC is equal to Vm by pi, IDC is equal to Im by pi. That is equal to 94.04 milliamperes. Now RMS is equal to IRMS is equal to Im by pi. Once you know the peak current, right, you can easily calculate IDC and IRMS. Okay. Then that is equal to Im by pi 2, that is equal to 147. Now DC output power. PDC is equal to, okay, there are different formulas for power. One way is I square R or V square by R, right? Here is, we know the I square, we know the IDC value. So I square DC into RL, that is equal to 8.845 watts. Then AC input power, okay. I square RL, input power is equal to I square RMS into RF plus RL, that is equal to around 24 watts. Once you know the output power by input power, then efficiency is equal to output power, DC output power by input power, AC input power. That is equal to 36.85%. Like that, you calculate the efficiency of half-wave rectifier. Already we did it in last class. Efficiency of half-wave rectifier is only 40%. But coming to the practical values and practical diode resistance, all these things, then the efficiency is always less than 40%. Then only your result is correct, right? For half-wave rectifier, remember that the efficiency is always less than 40%. Then coming to the second problem, here the second problem is a half-wave rectifier has a load of 3.5 kilo ohm. A given RL is equal to 3.5 kilo ohm. If the diode resistance and secondary coil resistance together have a resistance of 800 ohm. That means here RS plus RF, observe here, diode forward resistance plus diode secondary winding, transformer secondary winding resistance together 800 ohms. RL is equal to 3.5 K, RS plus RF is equal to 800 ohms. And the input voltage as a signal voltage of peak value is equal to 240 volts. Okay. Calculate same as previous parameters. Peak average RMS value of the current flowing, DC power output and AC power input and efficiency of the rectifier. Okay, this is the given data. Given data is RL is equal to 3.5 kilo ohm. RF plus RS is equal to 800 ohm. Then peak value of input voltage is 240. Okay, now calculate peak value of current. Okay, a given peak value of voltage, right? Here the peak value of voltage is equal to 240 volts. But in the problem, if he asks find current, right? Peak, average and RMS values of current, not voltage. Okay, now coming to the peak value of current, Im is equal to Vm by, given all parameters, Rs plus Rf plus Rl. Okay, that is equal to 55.81 milliamperes. Then IDC is equal to Im by pi, 17. IRMS is equal to Im by 2, that is equal to 27. The first thing is calculate the peak value of current. current I is equal to V by R. Similarly, here Vm by RL. But a given practical diode having some RF and secondary winding resistance RS. Consider that one also. Okay, once you know the IDC, you can easily calculate power. Power is equal to I square DC IDC whole square into RL. That is equal to 1.1. Then AC power is equal to IRMS whole square into RF plus RL. That is equal to 18 watts. Right? Okay. Now here, this is RF plus RS plus RS also, right? This one also included RS. Okay, why? Because RF plus RS together are given 800 ohms. Now here the total value RS plus RF plus RL is equal to 4300, 4.3K. Okay, here this one is 4.3K. Okay, AC power is equal to 18 watts. Now efficiency is equal to output power by input power. Output power is equal to DC power. DC power PDC by input power AC power. PAC is equal to, that is equal to 33%. Okay, that means after rectifier efficiency less than 40%, right? Okay, here in the given parameters, the efficiency obtained efficiency is 33%. Okay, coming to the third problem. The third problem is a half-wave rectifier is used to a supply of 20 volts DC to a resistive load of 500 ohms. The given RL is equal to 500 ohms. And the diode has a forward resistance of 50 ohms. Calculate the maximum value of AC voltage required at the input. Right. Now, average value of load current is equal to IDC, load current is equal to VDC by RL. Given the VDC load, DC voltage to the load is equal to 24 volts by 500, that is equal to 48 milliamperes. Then the maximum value of load current is equal to IM is equal to already in previous class, previous problem, IDC is equal to IM by pi. Now maximum peak current IM is equal to pi into IDC, that is equal to 150.8 milliamperes. Okay, therefore the maximum AC input voltage required VM is equal to V is equal to I into R, IM into RF plus RL, that is equal to 82.94 volts. Right, here in this problem we given reverse. What is given is a fair rectifier is used to supply of 24 volts DC to a resistive load of 500 ohms. That means the VDC given, VDC is equal to 24 volts. And a given diode forward resistance 50 and load resistance 500 ohms. So now how to calculate means first DC current is equal to VDC by RL. Once you know the DC current, maximum peak IM, maximum value of load current is equal to pi into IDC. Once you know the IM, VM is equal to IM into RF plus RL. Okay. Now next problem. The problem is an AC supply of 230 volts is used to a half-wave rectifier circuit through a transformer turns ratio 5:1. Okay, given transformer turns ratio 5:1. Assume that diode is an ideal diode and the load resistance RL is equal to 300 ohms. Right? Okay, given transformer turns ratio 5:1, N1 is to N2, and a supply of 230 volt supply, and RL is equal to 300 ohm. Okay. Okay, determine, find all these things. First one is the DC output voltage, then PIV, then maximum and average values of power delivered to the load. Okay. Now, first of all, find the transformer secondary voltage, right? Given turns ratio. Okay, then that is equal to N2 by this one is N1 into N2, N2 by N1. So that transformer secondary voltage is equal to input voltage 230 into N2 by N1, that is 1 by 5, that is equal to 46 volts. Okay, now convert into maximum value of secondary voltage, Vm is equal to, okay, already we know that Vm is equal to root 2 into Vrms. This is the voltage Vm. Vrms is equal to, now Vm is equal to root 2 into 46. Root 2 into 46 is equal to 65 volts, right? Okay. Now, here eighth one is the formula is 230 into N2 by N1. Remember here, N2 by N2 by N1. So N2 is equal to 1 by 5 into input is 230 volts. Then from that maximum value of secondary is equal to Vm is equal to root 2 into, this is what is the relation between Vm and RMS? Vm is equal to root 2 into Vrms. Vm is equal to root 2 into Vrms. Okay, this is RMS voltage. Now convert into peak voltage is equal to V maximum is equal to root 2 into Vrms, that is equal to 65 volts. Now DC output voltage VDC is equal to Vm by pi. Suppose IDC is equal to Im by pi. Similarly here VDC is equal to Vm by pi, that is equal to 20.7 volts. Okay, that is the DC output voltage. What is the DC output voltage? DC output voltage is equal to 20.7 volt. Once again, here the procedure is, here the given the AC supply is, this one is the RMS value. 230 volts is the RMS value, right? Now transformer secondary voltage, this is the primary voltage of transformer 230 volts. Find the secondary voltage, that is equal to primary voltage multiplied with N2 by N1, that is equal to 230 by 5, 46 volts. 46 volts is RMS. Now convert into maximum value, peak value is equal to, the relation is Vm is equal to root 2 into Vrms. So that Vm is equal to root 2 into Vrms, that is equal to 65 volts. Once we know the peak maximum value, V maximum, then the DC output is equal to VDC is equal to Vm by pi, that is equal to 20.7. Then coming to the second parameter, PIV, peak inverse voltage. Already the peak inverse voltage for half wave rectifier is Vm itself, at the maximum value of Vm, that is equal to 65 volts. So that is equal to PIV is equal to 65 volts. Okay. Then coming to the maximum value of load current. Load current Im is equal to Vm by RL. It did not given RF, and he consider that given that ideal diode, so that only RL. Im is equal to Vm by RL, that is equal to Im current. Then the power is equal to Im square into RL, that is equal to 14.1 watt. Then the average value of load current is equal to IDC is equal to VDC by RL. Okay. Okay, this is the maximum value of load current. We'll consider the maximum value of load current Vm by RL. Okay, maximum load current delivered. Now the average value of load current, average value or DC value, average value or otherwise DC current. Okay, DC current is equal to VDC by RL. What is VDC? VDC is equal to 20.7. Already previous observe here. VDC is equal to 20.7 VDC by RL. Okay. This is the DC current. Okay. You can consider this is AC current. Now the DC power is equal to, now this DC current IDC whole square into RL, that is equal to 1.43 watts, right? Once again, this problem here is, here given as one, given the primary voltage in RMS 230 volts and a given turns ratio 5:1. First of all, calculate the secondary voltage in terms of RMS. Then after that, secondary voltage in terms of maximum value. The relation between RMS and maximum value V maximum is equal to root 2 into VRMS. Once you know the V maximum, then VDC, average voltage or DC voltage, is equal to Vm by pi, that is equal to 20.7. Then the PIV for half-wave rectifier is Vm itself, that is equal to 65 volts, not VDC, Vm, V maximum. Then from that, maximum value of load current is equal to Im is equal to Vm by RL, whereas average or DC load current is equal to VDC by RL. Then power is equal to I square RL in both cases. Okay. Next, this is the fifth problem. The fifth problem is, a half-wave rectifier circuit supplies 100 milliamperes DC current, a given IDC, to a load of 250 ohms load. Find the DC voltage, PIV rating of a diode, and RMS voltage of the transformer supplying the rectifier. Okay. What a given data? Given data is only two things. One is IDC and second one is the load current RM. Okay. Now find the DC output voltage. The first parameter is find DC output voltage. Simply V is equal to I into RL. So VDC is equal to, this is DC, a given data also DC. IDC into RL, that is equal to 25 volts. Right? Once you know the VDC, VM, relation between VDC and VM is equal to, VDC is equal to Vm by pi. Now from that, Vm is equal to pi into VDC, that is equal to 78.54. So this is the Vm. Once you know the Vm, what is the PIV, peak inverse voltage? Peak inverse voltage is Vm itself, Vm. Next, VRMS. VRMS is equal to Vm by 2. That is equal to 39.27 volts, right? Okay. Once again, the problem is, here in the problem is given two parameters. One is IDC value. IDC is equal to 100 milliamperes, and RL value. RL is equal to 250 ohms, right? Now find the DC output voltage. Given the DC current, DC output is equal to VDC is equal to IDC into RL. Once you know the DC voltage, then the maximum voltage is equal to pi into VDC, or VDC is equal to V maximum by pi, then V maximum is equal to pi into VDC. Once you know the V maximum, PIV is equal to V maximum itself, PIV, 78.54 volts. Then VRMS is equal to, already we know, relation between VRMS and Vm is equal to, VRMS is equal to Vm by 2. That is equal to 39.27. Next problem, sixth problem is, the voltage of a 200 cos omega t. A voltage of a 200 cos omega t is applied to a half-wave rectifier with a load resistance of 5 kilo ohm. Okay, given only two parameters. One is the voltage is equal to 200 cos omega t, and from that 200 cos omega t, then what is the mathematical representation? Vi is equal to Vm sin omega t or Vm cos omega t. From that, Vm is equal to 200 volts. and a given load resistor RL is equal to 5 kilo ohm, right? Okay, given data is only Vm and RL. Find the DC current, then again RMS current, then again ripple factor, TUF, and rectifier efficiency. Okay, first thing is right. Im is equal to, okay, then the maximum current Im is equal to Vm by RL, that is equal to 40 milliamps. Once you know the Im current, you can easily calculate IDC, DC current. Why? Because find the DC current. IDC is equal to Im by pi, right? IDC is equal to Im by pi. Suppose VDC is equal to Vm by pi, right? IDC is equal to Im by pi, that is equal to 12.73 milliamperes. Now RMS current, IRMS is equal to Im by 2, VRMS is equal to Vm by 2. Same relation here. IRMS is equal to Im by 2, or otherwise VRMS is equal to Vm by 2. You find RMS current, IRMS is equal to Im by 2. Im is equal to Vm by RL, that is equal to 20 milliamperes. Okay. Once you know the IRMS and IDC, ripple factor is equal to, this formula is in terms of current, ripple factor in terms of, we derived the ripple factor in terms of voltage, VRMS by VDC whole square minus 1, all are under root. In terms of current also same, under root IRMS by IDC whole square minus 1, that is equal to 1.21. Remember, for half-wave rectifier, ripple factor is large value, 1.21. So greater than 1 compulsory. For half-wave rectifier, the ripple factor value is greater than 1. Okay. Then TUF, transformer utilization factor. TUF is equal to PDC by PAC at rated current, right? Or delivered at transformer. Then PDC is equal to, you know, the DC current IDC whole square into RL, that is equal to 0.81 watts. PAC at the transformer, right? Vm by root 2, Im by 2, that is equal to 2.828. Then PDC by PAC, that is equal to, okay, 0.286. Okay, here observe here, this one PAC. This is related to the transformer, secondary winding of the transformer. Power is equal to VRMS into IRMS. Remember, these two are RMS. VRMS into IRMS. VRMS is equal to Vm by root 2. IRMS is equal to Im by 2. Right? Okay. This is at the input side. This is at the input side. Okay, anyhow, then that is equal to 2.828. Then that is equal to 0.28. Okay, already know for half-wave rectifier, the TUF transformer utilization factor is very, very low. Only the maximum value is 0.28 maximum value. Okay. Then the efficiency is equal to, okay, here the PDC is same. Okay, output power is same, but AC power is equal to, PAC power is equal to I square RMS into RL, that is equal to 2 watts, right? This AC power and this AC power is different. Remember here, while calculating the TUF, we are considering the transformer input side, right? While calculating the AC, I square RMS into RL, that is equal to 2 watts. Then the efficiency is equal to 40.5%, right? Already you know that for half-wave rectifier, efficiency is equal to maximum efficiency 40.8. Okay. Now these are the drawbacks of half-wave rectifier circuits. What are the drawbacks here? Disadvantages of half-wave rectifier. I ripple factor. What is the ripple factor? Ripple factor is nothing but AC component in the half-wave rectifier output, right? Ideally, rectifier output does not contain any AC component, but coming to the half-wave rectifier, it contains some ripple content. That ripple content is 1.2, and that is considered as a very high ripple factor. Then efficiency, low ratio of rectification. Okay, efficiency is very low efficiency, only 40%, 40.6% efficiency, and transformer utilization factor also very low. That is equal to 0.287. Hence, for all these three, half-wave rectifier is a pure circuit for converting AC to DC. So in general, we are not used half-wave rectifier to convert AC into DC. Okay, to overcome all these things, we go for full wave rectifier circuit, right? To overcome the drawbacks of or disadvantages of half-wave rectifier, we go for full wave rectifier. So that in full wave rectifier, a ripple factor reduces and the efficiency increases and transformer utilization factor also increases, right? How many are there now? Only 74 are there, right? Now coming to the second type of rectifier circuit. Sorry. Second type of rectifier circuit, that is a full wave rectifier. Okay, so far we consider the half wave rectifier circuit, half wave rectifier circuit parameter derivations, and based on the parameter derivations, and we also solved 6 problems, half wave rectifier problems. Now, in half wave rectifier, there are few drawbacks, disadvantages. To overcome all these disadvantages, we go for full wave rectifier. In full wave rectifier, there are two types of full wave rectifier. One is center tap full wave rectifier, and next one is bridge rectifier. Right? Both are full wave rectifiers only. But here in center tap, we use two diodes, namely D1 and D2. Okay, only two diodes, but we require a center tap transformer. Okay, very brief thing about center tap transformer. This is the primary winding. In observe the secondary winding. Okay, there is a one center point. That point treated as a ground. Okay, this is a ground point. Okay, this is the ground point, and the voltage is split into two equal parts. The secondary voltage, okay, here the turns ratio 1:2. This voltage is equally split into, and observe the polarities are important here. This is plus, minus, this is plus and minus. Remember this one. And this one is connected to the load resistor R or RL. Same thing can be drawn like this also, right? This center point is directly connected to the ground, and two diodes, diode D1 and D2. Here the voltages are important, right? This is the plus sign, this is minus sign. This is the plus sign, this is minus sign. When the input is plus and minus, right? When the input is reverse, minus and plus, this also reverse, minus, plus, right? Okay. This is about the center tap transformer. Now this circuit converts into AC signal into DC, right? Verify, observe here. Consider the positive cycle. During positive cycle, what happens? During negative cycle, what happens, right? Always mainly concentrate on current flowing through resistor. Which path? Current flowing through the resistor is important, right? Remember, in both cases, current flowing through resistor is same direction, right? Remember here, okay, how this current flows, see in next slide. Okay. This one is positive region of Vi. During positive cycle, important thing is polarities here. This plus and this minus. Now this is plus, this is minus, this is plus and this is minus, this is ground. Remember it, that center point is ground. Right. Now here what happens? This is the plus. Plus is connected to the anode of the diode. Right. This is anode and cathode. Here this one is diode D1 here. Diode D1. Now anode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and cathode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Here this one is low potential. A greater than K, diode D1 is in forward bias. Okay, for initial stage, consider the diode is an ideal diode. It behaves like a short circuit. Now what about diode D2 here? Okay, diode D2, yeah, this one is anode and this one is cathode. Right? Now anode terminal is connected to negative, observe here, negative voltage and cathode is 0 voltage. Right? Anode is negative and cathode is 0. So A less than K. So the diode D2 is in reverse bias. Reverse bias means open circuit. Now what happened here? Only this path is exist. What is that path here? Here this voltage is Vm. Same voltage here. This is short circuit and current flowing through resistor is, this is the path. Current flowing through the resistor. Now the output is equal to, output is taken across this resistor. Right? Output is taken across this resistor, that is equal to Vm. Simply output follows the input. During positive cycle, diode D1 conducts, diode DD does not conduct. Diode D1 acts as a short circuit, diode D2 open circuit. Now there is a current flows through the resistor R due to diode D1. This is the path, right? This is the loop. Only first loop is exist. Then V0 is equal to Vi. Output follows the input, right? And next, negative region of Vi. Okay, negative region of Vi. Negative region, always observe the polarities. This is the minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. Again, center point always there is a plus and minus. So now this one, this point act as a ground. Remember, this point act as a ground point, right? Here, this one is diode D1. So this is diode D2. Now what happened here? Okay, always verify the anode terminal whether connected to positive or negative. Okay, in both cases, verify the anode and cathode. Right. Observe here diode D2. Anode is connected to the plus terminal and cathode is connected to the that is finally connected to the ground, right? 0. Now we are in for D1. What happened? Anode is connected to the negative terminal and cathode is connected to the 0. So the diode D1 is in reverse bias, diode D2 is in forward bias. Okay, when diode is in reverse bias, what is the model? Equivalent model is open circuit. When diode is in forward bias, equivalent model is short circuit. Now what happened here? Now there is a current flows through the resistor R. This is the path. Okay, in previously, during positive cycle, current flows in this direction. In negative cycle also current flows in this direction, not opposite direction. Current flows in this direction. That's why here output follows the input. Only positive side only, not negative side. Remember that one, not negative side, positive side. Why? Because current flowing through the resistor in negative region also same direction. In positive region, current direction this is. In negative region, current direction this is. That's why we are getting the output signal at the above zero axis. Only positive side we are getting two cycles. We are getting two positive cycles above the zero axis only, right? Okay, this is the output look like. Okay, this is the output waveform. Okay, during positive cycle, what happened here? During positive cycle, diode D1 conducts, output follows the input. During negative cycle also, okay, this is somewhat negative cycle here. This is negative cycle. For negative cycle, diode D2 on, D1 off, and current is same direction. That's why we are getting another positive off cycle, right? Okay. So this is the final full wave rectifier output. That means it will convert both cycles. Okay, it will transmit the input signal. Positive signal is transmitted. Similarly, negative signal also transmitted to the load. So that it is called the full wave rectifier circuit, right? Full wave rectifier circuit. Whereas half wave rectifier, it will transmit the signal only either positive cycle or negative cycle. Output consists of only one cycle, either positive cycle or negative cycle, depending upon the circuit configuration. Output consists of positive cycle or negative cycle. Whereas in full wave rectifier, output consists of both cycles. We are getting positive cycle, positive output. For negative cycle also, you are getting positive of cycle. Okay. So far we are considering the diode is an ideal diode. So that simply when diode is in on, we are replaced with short circuit. When diode off, we are replaced with open circuit. Now consider the practical diodes. Okay, consider practical diode. When diode D1 is in on, okay, when diode D1 on until the input voltage greater than breakdown voltage or diode voltage. VD is the diode voltage for both sides. What is that value? VD is equal to, for silicon diode, 0.7 volts. That means input voltage greater than 0.7, then only diode enter into on. For positive side as well as negative side, right? The slope is equal to 1, here the slope is equal to negative, right? That means here, observe here, okay, there is some small gap. Observe here, blue and black signals, blue dotted line and black dotted line. The difference is 0.7. Similarly, here the difference also, 0.7. That means until 0.7, still diode is in off condition only. Okay, here also there is a gap, right? This is due to practical diode. This is due to practical diode. If the blue line consists V0, okay, here black solid line is input signal. A dotted black line is minus Vs, 180-degree phase shift. Okay, the main advantage of transformer, center tap transformer is it will provide the secondary voltage. Both are 180-degree phase shift. Okay, this is plus Vs, this is minus Vs. Second term, this is minus Vs, this is plus Vs, like that, right? Okay, the signal is okay. Now this is the final blue line is, observe here only blue line. The blue line is the full wave rectifier output. Full wave rectifier, practical circuit full wave rectifier output, right? So this is about the full wave rectifier. In next class, we derive the parameters of full wave rectifiers. This is the waveform. For this waveform, we are calculate the average value, RMS value. Once we know the average value and RMS value, we derive the remaining parameters. Okay. Once again, here the operation is during positive cycle diode D1 on. We go for okay. During positive cycle diode D1 on, output is equal to positive and the current flows in this direction only. During negative cycle diode D2 on, current flows in this direction only. So finally output we are getting two positive cycles, right? Okay, that is about full wave rectifier. In full wave rectifier, center tapped circuit, right? And thank you for joining. Thank you all.